So let me start with this. How sick are you of people talking about last year's defense?
Yeah, it's never a good thing to hear about the defense. We take note though. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a fuel. I use it kind of in a positive way. I like when I see people say certain things because it just motivate me a little bit more. Just to go a little bit harder and just to prove them wrong. You know.
So what have you seen from Nate Dreiling? Obviously had a chance to work with him through spring and through summer. I got to point this at me. What have you learned from Nate Dreiling, so far with his defense?
With Coach Dryling's defense, I learned that sometimes complicated is not the way to go, like having so many different calls. What he brought in was a more simplified defense, which is good for everybody. Everybody's been able to learn fast and it's effective. As a coach, he always says when you know your technique, when you know what you're doing, you play faster, and that's been like proven over the spring ball period that we did have. So I enjoy working with Coach Dreiling.
So when I was talking to Nate, it was probably a couple months ago. I mentioned your name he's expecting you to be one of the best defensive ends in the conference. Like, let's start off with, what does that confidence mean? His confidence in you mean to you as far as preparing for this season?
It means the world for me. It's always like a big thing when your coach have, and not even just your coach, but your defensive coordinator have that much respect in you and what you can do on the field, and it just comes from hard work. That's everything to me, being that I know he's somebody with his prestige, young in this profession. He's seen a lot of good players, and it just motivates me more to just keep working hard. To just keep doing what I've been doing to try to turn the end of my career around.
So what are those keys for you to maybe pull off that goal, be one of the best in the conference? What are the things you got to do to fulfill that that potential there?
Things I must do, I would say, it starts with consistency. I got to be consistent in everything I do. I got to keep my routine going. That's been something that's helped me. Give myself that competitive edge. I got to be in the film room like never before. Just keep my body healthy, making sure I stay in the training room, making sure I'm staying fast, making sure I'm staying physical and strong.
So, I forgot which question I was going to go with. So a lot of new faces in the defensive line. Obviously, there's a decent number of returners, but plenty of new faces. Like, how have you guys integrated as a defensive line to try and build the best unit from the defensive tackles, the defensive ends, and the edge rushers?
One thing, it's been a joy having all the new D tackles come in and even new ends come in, because we've brought in nothing but players that like to work. You know what I'm saying? So over the summer, we have grew closer with our bond by getting extra work sessions in. You just feel it there, you know what I'm saying? So having them people come in with a mindset they're ready to win, it helps, and that's something we all can relate to. So it's been like very easy, so to say, to build that bond with them.
So when we've talked to Nate Dreiling about fixing the defense, usually, correct me if I say this wrong, but it's not about the what, it's about the how, right? Is that the thing he's been saying? What does that kind of mean for you guys, and what is that how, like the how you guys are going about being an elite defense?
Well, the how means how we approach it every day, what we do in the meeting room, what we do on the field, and just how we carry ourselves. I talked about routine earlier, so Coach John, he always repeats, you got to have how we do it. We got to be tenacious, we got to know what we're doing. We got to be flying around. So with that how aspect, it's like we can say what we want to do, this and that, but it's like how we're going to do it. What is our approach to it every week going into facing each team,
So a lot of people are measuring success at defensive ends by how many sacks you get and tackles for a loss. Obviously, a lot of overlap with the way NCAA records those stats. Do you use those as well, or are there other ways you're trying to measure whether or not you're a successful, edge rusher?
It is always good. Like, you are going to look at the stats. That's how you compare what I did before. That's kind of what I did last season. I compared it to what I've done previous years at Bowling Green to where I was at now. But at the end of the day, making sure you just go out and play as hard as you can, that stuff is going to come. I try not to watch it too much, but I know if I do what I'm supposed to as far as my everyday things, it's going to translate on the field. One big thing that I did learn is that what you do off the field is going to translate to on the field.
So you guys got Cam Rising on the schedule. I know there's a lot of hype with him here in the state of Utah. You excited to maybe go after him?
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely excited to go after him. I remember being at Bowling Green watching Utah in the Pac-12 championship. I respect his game, great player, but I'm a competitor as well, so I can't wait to get my hands on him.
Okay, so I asked this question to Cole. I'll ask the flip side. You and him, or I guess any other defensive or offensive tackle, you go up 10 times, how many times you beaten him?
I'm not gonna throw a number on it. Just know me and Cole, we get it in. Iron sharpens iron. You know, it's some wins there, some losses there. I learn from him. I love going against him every week. I feel like, well, every day in practice, I feel like me going against Cole is like something that's actually preparing me for the season. I feel like he's one of the best tackles I will face going into the season, so it works for both of us.
Thanks so much.